Guys, this is Smithy. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is a very special one. We're going to create like a St. Patrick's Day inspired makeup look, hence the green. You guys let me know, how do you like greens on me? It's absolutely growing on me. I would say that like I used to hate greens. Now I'm getting like so much like in touch with greens that I've started liking greens, I would say. I won't go to the extent of like I'm loving greens, but I've started liking them. But I have created this look using most of like affordable products, I would say. A few products are like thrown in here and there with like indie brands and all, but most of them are like super affordable. So if you guys want to see how I achieved this look, then please keep on watching. Okay, let's begin. I've only done my brows as yet, and I am using my Maybelline Xpress brow eyebrow pencil, and this one is in the shade medium brown, this one. So that's the only thing that I have. So let's begin and just cover up this face because, you know, I have a lot of hormonal like breakouts happening here. So let's cover it up. I'm going to use my Ole Henrikson Banana Bright Vitamin CC stick. And this one is in the shade Apricot, which is best for like medium to tan skin tone. The best part is like it's in a stick format. So it's super easy to like maneuver things. So because I have breakouts, I'm just going to take it on a brush. And this is BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy A506, my concealer brush. So I'm going to just go there and just put it. I know it's like an eye cream, but just helps to color correct everything. So I'm just gonna go around my mouth, just like that. And then I'm gonna use my fingers and then just press it underneath my eyes before even I go with anything else. And that a little bit just takes it to places. And you can obviously go like straight from the tube like that. Let's blend that out too. Just a tiny little bit. I don't think you can see a huge amount of difference, but I surely can see. Okay, now let's move on to the primer. Again, because of this situation, I'm going to take my Benefit Cosmetics Porefessional primer, my trusty primer, especially for like my, you know, breakout situation. I just want like when I want anything smooth on my skin and I want my face to look flawless, this is the baby that's gonna go on top of my skin. And you can even hear it, like how it just smoothens out everything. It's just beautiful. Now, because it's like St. Patrick's Day, I felt like this is the right time to do a green smoky eye. So that's what we are gonna do. If you guys know me, you know me, how much I dread like a green eyeshadow. Is it getting over? I think it is. One more foundation done. So this was my L'Oreal this was my L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour fresh wear foundation. You know how much I love when like foundations, like I use up my foundations. So I have a little bit. I am using this shade Golden Sun. So I'm just gonna take that mainly on the center of my face. And rest I can like cover up with like my concealer that I'm just about to use. But yeah, talking about green smoky eye, super excited about it. I generally don't like going into greens because I feel like it just doesn't complement my complexion a lot. But I know you guys, I mean, love greens. I'm big of a purple person in like color story. Neutrals and purples are my neutrals, I would say, like mauves also. But greens and blue are like completely outside my zone. But there is an eyeshadow palette that I dipped into like this year, which I went like crazy about in terms of formula, in terms of like quality. Let me see if I can like just scrape out everything. I feel like I'm done. See, look at that. So super happy about that. And I'm gonna tell you guys, I'm gonna dip into which palette. But before that, let's just finish the base. Now for the concealer, I'm gonna take my Catrice True Skin High Coverage Concealer with hyaluronic acid. And I am using the shade 046 Warm Toffee. So let's apply that. Like that. Mainly on the center of the face. And wherever I have like discoloration, I'll just put a little bit there. That should be good. I'm going to take the same foundation brush especially on the face. Just helps to mix up with the foundation that we earlier used so that it's not like too off, like shade wise. I'm going to take the concealer brush and then go underneath the eyes and then sweep it up, but never forget this area. I feel like this just makes a lot of difference, like when you cover up this area, because I feel like this area tends to be like mostly like dark for most of the people, but when you cover that up, that just brightens your face. And that's all that you need for the concealer. I'm gonna take my cream bronzer, and for that I'm taking my LYS Beauty's cream bronzer, and this one is in the shade Harmony. So let's take that. Really love this one. Super easy, really beautiful formula. So I'm gonna first start off on my cheekbones. Just tap, tap, tap. And it just blends itself. I'm so scared, but I want to do it. I've been telling this for a long time. Now, if you guys have been like following me for a while, you'll be like, just do it, just do it. My hair is like super thin and like super fine, I would say. And especially after like pregnancy, I've started losing a lot of hair. So because of that, I'm super conscious around like doing anything with my hair because I feel like it'll all fall off. I have a lot of it, but it's super fine. Now, because I'm now starting to get like gray hairs, I want to color my hair. I really chicken out, not because I don't like coloring the hair, just because I feel like, because I've not done this before, I'm going to lose all my hair because of the chemicals. So I want to go and do it. It makes me super excited to like just have newness to my hair. Like I don't mind like cutting my hair like short. Like I'm not scared of that. I'm just scared of like putting chemicals and making it lose more. But I feel like I should just give it a try, especially before going to India or maybe when I'm in India. But I want like your suggestions. If you are like my skin tone and if you have like dark hair, I don't want to like go dramatic and like put colors like blue, green, purple, you know, on my hair. But I want to do like something like mocha brown, like highlights or balayage, I don't know. If you are like my skin tone and you are experienced in this like department, do let me know. For my powder, I'm going to take this Catrice True Skin Catrice True Skin Mineral Loose Powder, and this one is the translucent one. It's been quite some time and I know that I love this powder, so I'm super excited to use this. I'm gonna just take that and then just put that there. Okay, now I'm just taking a big fluffy brush, and this is from Real Techniques. Just dipping the whole thing in the powder and just going all over the face. Just to smoothen it out. Oh, actually, I did have a cream blush, but I powdered, which is very common in this like Smithy's world, I would say. Not remembering what to do. Okay, so now let's anyways do the cream blush, but before that I'm just going to set my face with this Mented powder bronzer, just a tiny little bit. I know that we applied the, you know, cream bronzer, but we can just use a tiny little bit to just warm up our skin. And this one is in the shade Beach Bum. Beach Bum, looks like this. Super sleek packaging, really nice. And then for my blush, I'm going to take this Flower Beauty blush balm in the shade Spiced. I feel like that would go really well with like these loud eyes. So I'm just going to take a tiny little bit on the back of my hand, nothing much, like that. And then just take it on my blush brush and just go to town. Don't you worry. if it's not looking smooth underneath the eyes, because I'm gonna definitely go over with a powder just to set everything out, especially with the powder puff, because I feel like that just smoothens out everything no matter what. And then for the highlighter, I'm gonna take this Revlon Skin Lights Prismatic Highlighter in the shade Daybreak Glimmer. It's like a champagne golden highlighter. Just gonna take that and just blend it. See, look how blinding that is. And then a tiny little bit on the nose, because we can't forget a nose. Now I'm going to go back on this like Catrice True Skin powder. Just taking a little bit on a powder puff, just pressing it through, and then tapping it on the back of my hand, looking up and just going underneath the eyes. Can you see that? It immediately smoothens everything. So that's what we have for the face. I'm going to just quickly set my face with this Mario Badescu Rose Water Spray. Let it do its thing, and then let's move on to the eyes. Okay, so the eyeshadow palette that I have in like my mind that I want to use is this Wicked Widow Beauty Scissorhands 2 palette, because these have some beautiful green tones. Like, oh my god, I'm dying. Like for St. Patrick's Day, this is the perfect palette to have. Like, I love it. I love it. Absolutely love it. What am I gonna do? I don't know. But I want like a normal, like a brown crease. So I'm just gonna dip into like my Alter Ego Canyon palette, because this is like a brown, like a warm tone palette. And I feel like we can definitely get a lot of beautiful crease shades from this. So let's start off. I'm going to start off with this shade, which is Desert Sun. I'm just going to take that, tap off the excess, and start blending it down the crease. I just want like a warmer crease with those beautiful greens. And these Alter Ego eyeshadows are super beautiful, like super blendable and pigmented. I know they dupe a lot of Natasha Denona palettes and Pat McGrath palettes and ABH palettes, but if you cannot afford like those like expensive high-end palettes, I feel like this is great at like for $16. Even if it was like higher price range, I feel like this is really good. So that was like one shade. Now we're gonna make it a little more on the warmer side. So I'm gonna take this shade Mule, and I know my brush looks dirty, but don't you worry, I used the shade Mule like for my office look yesterday. So this just stays right along my vanity because I feel like at heart I'm like a big bronzy person, and this is like a bronze palette and I love it. Let's do a halo eye. Why not? I'm just deepening up the crease with that warm tone brown shade, like a mid-tone shade I would say. I'm gonna dip into this russet shade next. It's a little more on the deeper side, if you can see, as compared to Mule. And I'm again gonna do the same thing, outer corners, tapping it out, same thing on the inner corners. And then once we have that blend, just going across, just like that. Now I'm going to take the same shade russet for my lower lash line too, just to make it a little more brown smoky, just like that. And then for the inner corners, let's take the shade Cougar. It's a beautiful shade, like look at that. Oh, superb shade. And I'm going to put that in my inner corners. Look how sparkly and shiny it is. It's just beautiful. This palette is stunning, like absolutely stunning. And now let's move on to the Wicked Widow Beauty's Scissorhands 2 palette. Okay, I'm going to take the same brush that we used russet with, and now what I'm going to do is basically go to the shade Garden and tapping off the excess and start pressing it here. So now we're going to get a transition from the brown to the green. Don't you worry if it doesn't look like super bright green, because we're going to go with the NYX Glitter Glow and I don't want like patchiness. So I'm first going to tap it, mix it with that brown, and that's the main reason why I put that brown first, so that this green mixes with that, does whatever it wants to do, and we get like a beautiful transition shade. Because we can definitely pack it up and it'll show up like that garden green shade. So now once we have that, like, you know, the burnt green, like dirty green kind of a look, now I'm gonna start packing it up like there. And now I'm gonna start blending it on my crease, mixing it with that brown. I don't want too much and I don't want to go above my crease. I still want that brown to show up, but I want that blend from that green to brown. So very, very light pressure on the brush and just blending it across. That's what we want. Now I'm going to take the NYX Glitter Glue. Handy dandy, perfect glitter glue for the shimmers. A very tiny little bit. I'm going to take that right there on the center of my eyes and start putting it all across my eyelid, starting from the center and then going across. Doing the same thing on the other eye, starting from the center, going all across. Now I feel like we should use this green. It has like that duochrome quality. You've seen me use all the other shades before. I feel like I want to use this. So let's take that. It's so St. Patrick's Day, okay? I'm gonna take that, put that right on the center, and it has that duochrome effect of like green to a brown flip. I feel like that will just go so perfect with it. And all across the eyelid. Look how beautiful and shiny it is. Wicked Widow Beauty really did something with this palette. It's just amazing, like amazing. Especially if you like blues and greens. It's stunning. It also has like pops of mauves here, but the quality is so right there. Like with the shimmers, the mattes, it's just so pretty. Love it. Okay, I'm gonna go back to that garden shade and just blending around the edges, just so that there is no harsh lines. Just like that. I feel like that's perfect. Now for the extreme outer corners, I want to like a smaller blending brush. This is Morphe's M506, like a small tapered blending brush. I'm going to dip into this shade, which is Scars. It has like that burgundy shade, like burgundy brown shade, super deepening. I'm going to just flick it right there in the extreme outer corners, just to give some kind of an interest there. Again, just tapping it, not overly blending, just like that. Same doing on the inner corners. And these just melt with each other so nicely. Going with the same shade on my lower lash line too. Just like that. I feel like that's perfect. I'm gonna finish this eye off with some liner and mascara and I'll get right back. Okay, I just finished off my eyes with some Adele Magnetic Lashes. So this one is in the shade, is just Adele Wispies. So we have our eyes all complete and I feel like that's looking super glamorous and super green. So let's finish off our lips. I'm going to use my ColourPop Lippy pencil in the shade BFF4. And I just filled it in a tiny little bit so that it's not like completely like just outlined, because I want to go with like a nude. And this is from L'Oreal Infallible line, and this one is in the shade Sweet Tooth. Super nudie shade, but it's gonna mix up with that brown lip liner. And that's just beautiful. I love this shade that it creates. And that is it. Do let me know, how do you like this look on me? Let me just give you a final close-up on how this look turned out. I absolutely love it. Of course, this is like green, but I feel like green is like now growing on me. I don't feel like super weird now in green. That's very unheard of, Smithy, I would say. But I really loved creating this look. And most of the things that I use today are like super affordable, and you can like get like a glam, perfect, like green smoky eye. And I feel like this would just go beautiful with St. Patrick's Day party, if you have anything, or like a beautiful, colorful green look. I really loved creating this look for you guys. I really hope that you like it too. And if you did like it, you know what to do. Do give it a thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so that you're notified every time that I post next. I generally upload 3 videos every single week, every Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 9 AM Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.